Tired of spending a lot of damn money and getting absolutely nothing you was hoping to get? Head on over to MrMuckCoin.com for the cheapest, safest, most reliable coins in the community. Use code GS for 20% off your purchase. Don't forget, you can also purchase training there as well. Link is available in the description. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another Madden 19 video. Hopefully you guys are doing fantastic. We're about to jump into online head-to-head gameplay, and this is, I believe, like the second game or so with the limited edition Ty Law. Big 99 overall, and we got 99 zone, 99 man, 95 plus agility all over the place in our defensive package. I think I'm running over G, and I think I stated that we have a 98 overall defense, but we have, I think, Patrick Peterson, Dion, Ty Law, a bunch of people. But you see, we match up against I knock out you. Now, for those of you that pay attention to the videos, you guys will remember that we faced him in his Super Bowl, I want to say about less than a week ago. Top 50 overall player, which he's still top 50, and it was definitely a very, very, very rough game. So I know that I'm in for a sweaty. The one thing I do remember is that he sends everyone. He sends a lot of people. Just look at the blitz. He actually comes out and engage 8, and I'm sure he has his adjustments. And just look at the several people he's sending right there. Quick out route over there to the right side. We figured that right there was open. It's like, okay, we got to remember that. And then I do remember, since he blitzes heavily on the left side, the makeshift table route will be open. And then he just gets a great animation, gets a pick, and he goes on ahead and scores. So not a very good way to start the game. So that was frustrating. So he made an adjustment. He went ahead and put him on, I'm sure, a cloud or a hard flat, whichever, just to go on ahead and protect the short out route since he's not pressing. So not a good way to start. So now it's like, okay, we got to face someone that sends 1,000 people, and we also have to, you know, deal with his offense that gave me trouble last time. So right there, we end up putting Barry on the table route, and he has to go on ahead and cover. And as you can see, he sends so many people. He actually, I think, had like 23 wins last week in weekend leagues. Definitely, definitely a whoop. As we hit him with the double spins, he's definitely a very, very, very tough opponent, just because the defense is stifling. It doesn't give you much room for error, just because he sends so many people that even I'm blocking 7. I am picking up his blitz. You see, he doesn't have anyone coming off the edge or anything like that. But eventually he's going to get a shed, right? Because in the midst of those 7s, I'm sure there's a Lawrence Taylor. I'm sure there's a Clowney. I'm sure he's got several people that are eventually going to come in. So he's already at 1 possession. He gets the ball at the half, and now it's like, okay, I really don't remember what he runs on offense. I just know it gave me trouble. He made a couple questionable reads, and I do remember he tossed it up to the right side of the field and came down with 2 aggressive catches. So this time I have, oh, beautiful stiff arm, and then he goes all the way downfield for several more yards. I have Calvin at free safety, just because Dion gave up 2 jump balls when I had him there last time. So hopefully, his stiff arms are just ginormously killing me. Hopefully we can hold him to 3 here and you know, get back in this game, because the last thing we want to do is give up a touchdown. Another stop on him getting the ball back, and I'm forced to, you know, really pass the ball against his 17 people that he's blitzing. We're going to be in trouble. Big sack by DeMarcus Ware right there. Rolls out to DeMarcus Ware's side again. We click on, we try to go for the dive. We get the fumble right there, but he is out of bounds. Big 3rd down, 3rd and 3. He's just going to go on ahead and settle for the field goal, play it safe, go up 3 points. And again, he does get ball at the half. So right here, my game plan at this point is to try and take as much time off the clock as possible, because the last thing we want to do is score quickly. He gets the ball back, retaliates, just goes on ahead and nullifies my score with the score of his own, and then he gets the ball back at half. So I'd much rather go into the game half scoring a field goal than me scoring too soon and him being able to score and just, you know, keep the lead that he has. So right here, that's what I'm talking about. Since he blitzes so many people, unfortunately it was thrown behind him, so Barry couldn't catch it in stride, but he's still blitzing heavily on the left. Right there is when I noticed he has Slay over there on the cloud, because we've went ahead and put T.O. on a very quick post, a fade, excuse me, and he was wide open. But this is where I figured this out last time I played him, that he had trouble because he's blitzing so many people heavily on the left side. He only has like a deep blue, which I think he mans up against my crossing route, and he has no help over there on the left side. So we've put Barry instead of Franco, who I usually have there for blocking purposes, because Barry I can make shift on that table route, and he can get open underneath, and he's going to have to either guard it manually, or he's going to have to not blitz the guy on the left. But right here, after a no huddle, unfortunately, we get a desync, which sucked, right? We were in a good game. I took the lead. He had the ball, and then I'm not too worried about his offense. It's his defense that gets me shook. But unfortunately, we had a desync, so I ended up sending him a message saying, that sucks, but, GG. There's no win, no loss, or anything like that. It pretty much just desynced, and this is us, sending him a message, GG. But we actually match up the very next game. I go ahead, I start another game, and it was against the exact same opponent. So we end up getting into the very next game, and I already have my adjustments down, what it is I want to do. I got to make sure to keep Barry at the running back position. I got to make sure to continuously put him on table routes, just to have him think about it. As you can see, we match up the very next game again, and I already know what I want to do offensively. Again, his offense, I feel like, is not giving me too much trouble. It's his defense that is very scary, because he sends the world. But this time around, we actually get ball at the half, where the previous game he was getting ball at the half. So that is definitely a very, very big advantage for us. So let's see if we can get some stops, force some bad decisions, and be able to put our offense on the board. And take the lead and not have to worry about his offense. So right here, he just goes over there to the right side. Big strip animation, forces the incomplete pass. Big 3rd and 4 right here. I thought a run was coming. You see me blitzing in. And we get a shed, and we end up getting a sack from Jason Taylor. So that right there was a big stop. 4th and 13. We force a punt. And now it's like, okay, again, his offense doesn't give me, I would like to think, not too much trouble. It's his defense that's tricky. So we already know what it is we want to do. We want to mix in the drag, and we also have to mix in the double crossers, which I wasn't doing the previous game. Mixing in the double crossers, I feel like is going to go on ahead and force him to make a decision on who he wants to cover, because he's only going to be able to cover one since he's blitzing everyone. Like right here, you see I hit him with the double crosser. Wide open is Tyreek Hill. He actually ran in to his own defender that was covering Moss on the other crosser, and we end up scoring a touchdown. So right there, I got to mix that in as well as the underneath table route, and I feel like we're good. I feel like he's going to have a trouble. As long as I can pick up the blitz and I have enough time, I feel like he's going to have to make a decision on the table route, on the crosser, on the drag. I feel like it's just too much for him. It's too much for him to cover, to worry about, I should say, since he's blitzing so heavily and so many people. So right here, 2nd and 10, goes to the left side, and right there we get a pick 6 with Champ Bailey, and we actually had a cover 2 playing right there. And I believe I shaded underneath for hard flats, and he throws directly towards Bailey, who jumps it, and we get the pick 6. So that is what that 99 zone is going to do. They're going to get very good break on ball. Good agility is going to have him just absolutely screaming in the way he wants to go ahead and run. He had someone wide open on the right side. Thankfully, he didn't throw it. So 2nd and 1 right here, and he steps up in the pocket. Everyone gets shedded, but another interception, and right there is I fought the law and the law won. Right there is the very first interception by Tylon. That is the route right there I'm talking about that's going to give him trouble. I didn't get many yards there, but that is the route that is going to give him trouble. As long as we can go on swing, as long as we can go on ahead and continuously, periodically put that in there, we'll be good. We barely have enough for a field goal, but we'll take it. We just make it, but we'll take it. We're up 17-0 in the first quarter. And again, now I feel like he's not dictating my pace of play with this defense by sending so many people. I feel like, worst case scenario, I can still run the ball because I just don't want to be in must-need passing situations, because he sends 1,000 people. Right here, the running back, he just leaves open on some little like a little curl underneath. You just stop and go right there, whatever it is you want to call it. Wide open right there is another curl route sitting at the 1st down marker. So good play by him. We got to be on the lookout for that. We send a spy right there. Oh man, I was just a little too much over the top of that. 2nd and 5 right here. He steps back, and nobody's open, and we end up getting a sack right there by LT. Eventually, even though we're only sending 3, eventually, LT is going to come around at some point. And right there, we got big Bruce Smith who goes on here. Now, I put Bruce Smith in there instead of LT because my Bruce Smith has situational pass rusher, and I feel like he's going to get the, what is it, like a 15% bonus at winning a pass rusher or whatever the percentage is, and I feel like that right there was a good one. Right here, again, we end up crossing hill instead of the underneath drag, and we're mixing it in, and we end up catching him off guard, and we end up getting the touchdown. Well, close to a touchdown, excuse me. I believe he holds me to a field goal here, though, and I think this right should have been a touchdown, but I probably should have went for the spin or some type of maneuver, maybe a juke. I just did nothing, and he ends up catching me. I thought for sure that was going to be a touchdown, but Lane Johnson blocks the wrong person, so he ends up holding us to a field goal. But again, we're up 20-0, and we get ball back at the half. And you know, ordinarily I wouldn't dominate someone. His record is like stupid good too. It's like 600 and like 150 or something like that, and he's top 6 in all of the world in Super Bowl wins. So he's a very, very, very good opponent. He's just having a rough game after making, you know, a handful of mistakes. And we've made our adjustments offensively to his blitz, adding the second crosser, adding the table route, adding the drag, and all that stuff is giving him a handful of trouble. And right there was a beautiful spin move, great blocking, and that allows him to go all the way downfield, which should have been a 6-yard route at the most. He goes all the way deep downfield and puts him back in his game if he can go ahead and score a touchdown. But again, not the best read by him. Another bad throw and another interception by us. I thought Pat Pete was going to take it all the way, but that's our third or fourth interception of the game right here. And then right here, you know, he has to worry about he did a great user right there. He has to worry about the crosser, the underneath route, and then, you know, the table as well. So you can see right there, we actually did both for the first time this game. Actually had the drag and the crosser, and he covered the crosser, leaving the drag wide open. And that's because, again, he's so aggressive. He ends up blocking. He ends up sending everyone. He only has, I think, 4 guys in coverage, and he's not making any adjustments to the adjustments that I'm making. You know, we figured out a way to block it. We figured out the route combinations that are going to give him trouble, where he has to choose with his user on where to decide to try and cover. And he's not making any adjustments. He's not sending less people. He's continuously sending 7 every single play, and he's paying for it, you know, and he's not switching it up whatsoever. 2nd and 1 right here. We get the shed around the outside. 3rd down and 1 right here. We end up sending a blitz right there from the cornerback, and we end up getting a sack with Dion, and he goes for a fake right here. At this point, I feel like he was just hoping for a disconnection. I don't know, because it's not going well. I mean, the fake punt, it's just not going well for him, and he ends up quitting in a bit. So a very, very dominant performance by us. We played excellent on both sides of the ball. Again, I knew what to look for on my side of the ball offensively. Just force him to choose to cover several people, and as long as he makes a mistake and chooses the wrong person, as long as we can pick up the blitz, which is the most important thing, as long as we can hold on, and as you see right here, we got him out of the blitz, we got him out of sending 37 people, and that right there was very, very, very key. And then he goes back to sending 1,000 people. I thought for sure I was sacked, right? Okay, I did get sacked. I ended up scoring, probably wasn't this game. There was one game that I played where I was a centimeter away from getting sacked, and Gunslinger just saved me, where we just end up completely just hitting the button at the last second and getting rid of it. But he's calling a handful of fullback dives. It looks like he's not even trying to run his offense. It looks like he's not even trying to get back in this game. It really looks like he was just maybe hoping for a disconnect. I'm not sure. A fake right here with, was that Franco Harris trying to pass? I'm not sure. And then he ends up quitting. Hopefully you guys enjoyed a very dominant performance by us on both sides of the ball. Definitely very, very, very happy with how we made our adjustments and how we, performed very, very, very well with the adjustments I thought would work. It's your boy Jess. We're going to go on ahead and be signing out. Until next time. Peace.